Welcome back po tayo sa part 2 ng ating programa Power to Unite with Elvira, kung saan po nagkaroon tayo ng magandang interview with Father Zollner nung nakaraang linggo about child abuse. Sino siya? Siya po ang Academic Vice President, Professor, at the same time Director po ng Institute of Psychology of the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome. Recently, noong March 2014, na-appointed siya as one of the original, sabi nila, G8 members po ng Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minor. And recently, itong taon, naging presidente po siya ng Center for Child Protection of Institute of Psychology of the Gregorian University in Rome. Nakakatuwa po kasi napakaganda ng aming discussion. Ano pa kaya ang susunod naming discussion? Siya po ang subaybayan nyo sa pagbabalik ng Power to Unite with Elvira.
May biyayang darating sa atin. Hinirang ang ating bayan. Pinili ang bansang Pilipinas upang dito idaos ang 51st International Eucharistic Congress.
Dadayuhin ng mga Katoliko sa buong mundo.
Saksihan natin ang real presence ni Jesus.
Pinakamalaking pagsasama ng mga mananampalataya. May handog natin ang pinakamalaking selebrasyon ng banal na Eucharistia.
Ipakita po natin sa buong mundo ang lubos na pananampalataya ng mga Pilipino. Magkita-kita po tayo sa Cebu. Christ in you, our hope of glory.
Father Hans, what is really primarily the role of the Commission?
Now, in fact, this kind of commission, as it was established, is quite unique.
Okay.
In various ways. First of all, because of the composition of the members, and first of all, because almost half of all the members are women. So we are 17, and 8 are women.
Okay.
6 are lay women, and 2 are religious women.
Okay.
And then we have 4 lay men and 4 priests, plus Cardinal O'Malley as the president.
Okay.
So this is also something unique. You don't find it in any other body of the Holy See. That almost half of them are women. Then the second thing is that our language, our main language, first language is English. Okay. Second language is Spanish, and third language is Italian. Yeah. So this is also something quite singular in the Vatican world. Then, about our task, the Holy Father has created this commission, first of all, to advise him, to give him counsel on matters that concern justice for victims and survivors of sexual abuse of minors, and to counsel and advise him on the safeguarding of minors. So what we are meant to do is to look into all the issues that are connected, and you are right, there are many issues that are connected to the sexual abuse of minors within the Church, to different areas, to social justice, to the area of faith and how we understand the Church, to matters that concern the youth, obviously, the family life, and the scientific research on that. But the focus of this commission is to see what is there specifically under the headline of safeguarding of minors. And so we see what are the guidelines of the different bishops' conferences. We see what are the best practices in various parts of the world that can be shared to other parts of the Church, and what are the policies that are in place on paper and that are in place in actual behavior and in actual following up. Because you see that in many parts of the world, this is now an issue that is talked about much within the Church, outside the Church. And many policies are developed. Many states in this world, they start to develop new legislation on it. Normally it becomes more strict. And also in the Church there is a new sense of responsibility for that. So the law has changed within the last years. And now it is about, the question is, how do we really implement what we know about the issue, and how do we follow up on what the church asks local churches to do, the religious congregations and orders to do, the Catholic institutions to do, and how can we help so that the church as such and its institutions become a safe haven for minors.
Don't you think, Father Hans, that because we believe there's a separation of church and state, right, in several countries. So we know, we understand you're trying to help the religious community in each country, the church, and also people in Vatican to understand the global issue pertaining to child abuse, child trafficking, all these things. But the government of each country is also doing something. Don't you think these two, you are doing something here, advising them, because you're more on advising and giving guidelines, but not imposing, right? You just gather information, try to understand what is the best way, to reach out to them, to solve and to stop all these kind of abuses. And here the government side said, we are also doing something. So where will the victims fail now? To listen to what the government can offer, and then, or to listen to what the church can offer. Did you have an idea, something that might occur?
Now, that depends very much on the situation in the country and the relationship between church and state in that country.
Okay.
I give you some examples. When I was in Chile 2 years ago, the responsible person in the Chilean government for the protection of minors wanted to see me and to discuss what the church as such and the church in Chile, in Latin America, can do together to learn from each other. I believe that in many areas we will have the same population and the same kind of, let me say, possibility to approach youth. But sometimes the church will have another type of approach and the state will have another area of responsibility.
Yes.
So they can combine well if there is an understanding that they can work together. In other parts of the world where the church is a tiny minority, like in India, I've been there a year and a half ago, and I learned about the Indian legislation, National Act on the Safeguarding of Minors, which is very strict, perhaps more strict than in any European country. And I've seen that in some states of India, religious are members of the safeguarding board of the regional state. So you see that even in India, which is certainly not a Christian country, that expertise, that knowledge and that dedication to the safeguarding of minors is welcomed by the state. If you consider that in India, I don't know how many very renowned Catholic institutions offer education to the youth, it is understandable that the state, even, a non-Christian state, a government, is interested to know about that and to take in that experience that we can offer. I want to expand also a bit more, because we are also in contact with Protestant churches, because they see that they have also to grapple with these problems, and they don't have, in some places at least, they don't have any much knowledge about that, so they consult us. It's when we were starting to work with the Jesuit University in Yogyakarta in Indonesia, it was our intention that we reach out also to the Muslim community, because Indonesia is the biggest Muslim country in the world, and many students from the Muslim faith study at the Jesuit University in Yogyakarta. So learning about the child protection is supposed to help also other communities, not only within the Catholic Church. And I see this educational effort that we do as something to contribute so that the Catholic Church becomes a champion in the safeguarding of minors.
Through education. Magbabalik po ang programa ng Power to Unite with Elvira.